Human rights are the indivisible rights in which all humans are entitled to by virtue of their humanity without discrimination. Many of the basic ideas that fueled the human rights movement developed in the aftermath of World War II, specifically the Holocaust, which then resulted in the adoption of the UDHR in 1948. Adopted by the UN General Assembly, the UDHR is an international document consisting of 30 different articles that details an individual's basic rights and fundamental freedom.
The universality of human rights means that human rights must be the same everywhere and for everyone. By virtue of being human, every individual is entitled to rights and freedom.
Human rights are indivisible and interdependent, meaning that all rights and one set of rights cannot be fulfilled without the other. It essentially applies equally and all have the right to participate in decisions that affect their lives.
Indivisibility means that all human rights are of equal importance and cannot be arranged into hierarchies. Governments are not permitted to pick and choose some rights over the others. For example, freedoms of religion cannot be said to be unimportant and not applied.
Human rights are inalienable. This means that no individual can be stripped away of their human rights, and no one can strip others of their human rights.
Positive rights require positive action by those in power. For example, the right to free education would not be possible without government officials providing school facilities such as books and teachers.
Negative rights is a right not to be subjected to an action of another person or group. Some examples of negative rights are the rights to participate, freedom of speech, freedom of religion, freedom from bullying, and freedom from discrimination.
Human right is often seen as a priority by many member states, and the UN is reliant on the will and cooperation of these member states. The UN has no power to prosecute the violation of human rights, as the UDHR is a non-legally binding document. It relies on countries to prioritize these human rights.
Human Rights Day on December the 10th is an opportunity to reaffirm the importance of human rights in rebuilding the world that we want, the need for global solidarity, and as well as our interconnectedness and shared humanity. Stand up for human rights. We aim to engage the general public to bolster transformative actions in inspirational examples and contribute to recovering better, fostering more resilient and just societies.
Now, more than ever, human rights are of the utmost importance, and often in times of crisis, human rights are at their most vulnerable. We can see how this pandemic has clearly impacted them, with millions of children having their education interrupted, and minorities being more vulnerable to racial violence. It has also highlighted the inequalities experienced all around the world. While the virus does not discriminate, its impacts are felt unequally. We will reach our common global goals only if we are able to create equal opportunities for all, address the failures exposed and exploited by COVID-19, and apply human rights standards to tackle entrenched systematic and intergenerational inequalities, exclusion, and discrimination.